All right. Hello and welcome to another episode of Hello Me. It's me, Vulnerable as F. Today I have Nicole. Do we call you Nicole whenever we come on? What
Yeah.
is
Girl, Nicole is that Nicole, because you're Nikki. Well, you're
so
Nikki to
we
me.
have
You might be Nicole to everybody else, but you Nikki to me, so I
no,
don't get
I'm
confused.
Nikki. I'm Nikki to everybody. I don't even when people call me Nicole, I look at them like, okay, you don't know me.
And that's funny because if somebody calls me Nikki, I'm looking at them like, "Excuse me?"
So we don't know each other on that basis.
Right. I have only allowed one person in my life to call me Nikki, and I don't even know why I let her. I think she's one of those things where she just did it and refused not do it, and I just was like, "Ugh, whatever."
Right. That's so funny. But yeah, so Nicole's on again today, and we have a really great topic today. And I say it from the standpoint of we are both going through the same, she calls it the parallel universe, where we're both
Right.
going through the exact same thing at the same time. I
What's
got a
that,
30-day notice.
the Marvel what are they? The multiverse.
Yeah, for sure. Same names, same linear healing path, both
Man,
30-day notices and coming back home to the parent temporarily because I
yes.
already I already know this is not a permanent
Heavy
situation.
on temporary.
Very heavy on the temporary, but we wanted to make sure that we present it because I know a lot of times I remember I'm not gonna lie, the first time I came home, I was I think my youngest was 4 and I was going through some financial stuff at the time. And I came back home with a bunch of shame. And this time is a little different because I didn't have any healing. I hadn't gone to therapy. And so I went to therapy to kind of get rid of that shame. This time coming back home is completely different because I feel like I've gone through my healing journey,
Yeah.
but I feel like this is my test. I think because I didn't finish my healing journey until after I left my parents. And so moving back in with them, I've been kind of avoiding them, trying to stay away from the irritation or the quote unquote problems that I had with them or the things that stemmed from being with them. And so now I'm being pushed back into that. And you are too,
Yeah.
correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. Funny, again, we talk about the multiverse. I had went back to my mom's when my oldest, he's 11 now, he was only 6 months at the time. So about 10 years ago, we were at the time I was married, so me, my husband, and my oldest, we had moved back in with my mom, but it wasn't nothing financial. We didn't have to be there. It was one of those things where he wanted to get out of the apartment that we were in. I told him, "Let's do it, but you gotta find us a new place." And he didn't find us a new place, but by that time, the leasing company had released us. We just kinda moved in with my mom, and so we were able to get out. And so that was really the focus while we were there was just, "Well, we're getting out, we're saving up, we're moving, we're gonna find another place." That was
All
so it
right.
wasn't really a lot of and I wasn't healing. I didn't even know I needed healing at that time. I
Oh,
wasn't really
yeah.
doing therapy. So I was just kinda coexisting, and I was already in my people pleasing mode with my mom specifically. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, it was just kinda like, business as usual. Whereas
Right.
now, this time, I have in the last 5 to 7 years, I have been on this healing journey, like you were saying, and a big part of it was recognizing that there was a lot of hurt that I experienced as a child that I had never really acknowledged until I got into therapy.
All right, hello and welcome to another episode of Hello Me. It's me, Vulnerable as F. I hate that I do this. Let me just go ahead and apologize like I do every time. I am MIA for a month or so. In this case, has been a couple of months, and I will say I always owe an explanation. And besides, having ADHD and working full time, I want to talk about the fact that I've been quiet. Because I have. I've been quiet, but I want to talk about the fact that when you are quiet, it doesn't mean that it's because you're hiding. Sometimes it means it's because you've been building. And I will say, despite it not feeling like I've had a lot going on in my life right now, it's mainly because I've been building. I've been just going to work every day and putting money away, basically. I'm trying to make sure that in the next few months, I'm able to do the things I want to do. I'm trying to get my credit score back up. I'm trying to get out of debt. I am trying to figure out what the next step is. I have a older daughter who is going into college this year, and then I have a younger daughter who is going to Brown for summer school, and I also need to figure out, what she wants to do. She's been trying to go to Japan for her sophomore year. And then I'm still need to figure out getting out of my parents' house. So I have so much up in the air. The goal mainly was to see how much I could save to get me to where I want to go. But also at the same time, the goal is to figure out what the next step is. And I think that sometimes when you're trying to rebuild, it takes a level of silence. It takes a level of just being okay with where you are, right? And that's okay. That is okay. I guess at the end of the day, I have been MIA because my life has just felt so mundane. It's just wake up every morning, go to school, teach in the classroom, come home, take a nap, fall asleep, and then repeat. And this is what I call racehorse mode, where I'm trying to make things better. I hate racehorse mode. I hate working for other people. But at the same time, it does give me something to do. So I can't complain. It's guaranteed money. But I also have always been an entrepreneur all my life. But I digress. I digress because all I'm realizing right now is sometimes pulling back happens because life is getting heavy. But in this situation, it's not that it's getting heavy, it's just for me, it's become mundane. I have been a little bit overwhelmed by all the uncertainty, and I haven't wanted to come online and pretend and just run off at the mouth, you know? Cause sometimes I get tired. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we talking about? Like, what's new? Well, you know, nothing's new right now, and sometimes that's just okay. My ADHD brain, for the longest time, did not like repetitive things. I like doing different things. I like trying new things. But as I'm getting older, I need something that's a little bit more stable. Like I need to know that I'm getting money from this, and I'm not constantly trying new things. Like I like trying new things and trying to figure out how to make it work this way. And then I'll completely like get rid of the thing and try something new because I used to take so long on the thing. Like for example, I used to make money selling on eBay, right? I would just sell things. And then once the PayPal fees started getting crazy, I was like, you know what? It's time to abandon ship. I did that for 10 years. Time to move on to the next thing. Moved on to the next thing. I think it was, we'll say it was dog sitting for now. Did dog sitting for 2.5 years, made the money, actually had great clientele, and then was like, you know what? You didn't move to Louisiana to dog sit. Let's go do something else. Came back to California and was like, all right, what we doing? And it was like, okay, you like teaching. Let's see the whole teaching thing. Let's do substitute teaching. Let's make this a thing. Did that, and now it's like, okay, what are we doing? I'm ready to move on, right? We don't have it all figured out. I don't have it figured out, and that used to be the joy for me. But I don't like coming on talking like I have everything figured out because, again, I actually revel in the fact that I don't have it all figured out. But then, too, as I'm trying to figure things out, I don't like talking about it. So there it is. And I feel like a lot of people have this pressure to look successful while they're figuring things out. I have gotten to the point where I don't even really care. I'm just like, okay, I'm figuring things out. I'm not supposed to look like I got it all together when I'm trying to figure it out right now. And I think that that is the stage that a lot of us need to get to where it's like, okay, this is just me. And unfortunately, one thing about me is I'm not trying to come online and just keep talking about the same thing. Like, and that's where we are. That's where we are. I'm a millennial. I had my two kids very young. I was in my early 20s. I was still in college. And even, over 15 years later, I'm not feeling behind. I'm just trying to reevaluate and refine myself. I feel like I have another 20, 25 years. Like I'm just starting at this point in my life. But I'm not worried about that. I like watching other people win because it incentivizes me to try to do better. But I'm also at this stage where I'm like, okay, shouldn't we have already made it by now? But I'm not beating myself up about it because I know that as a millennial, we've had some issues. There are some things that millennials just have gotten the bad end of the stick on. Let's just be real. Now, there are some good things that have happened. I've seen some of my classmates doing very well, but there's also a lot of them that just kind of like still skating by, still trying to figure things out. I still haven't bought a house, and that's one of the things I would love to do. I would love to have enough money to be able to buy a house. I would love to see money just coming in where I can just drive the kind of car I want. It's kind of scary that rent is over $3,000 a month, which is also kind of scary, you know? But yeah, I think the good thing about that is I'm learning how to rebuild with confidence. I'm learning how to rebuild my finances. I'm learning how to just, take things as they are and not be depressed about them. Before, everything used to be like this personal thing where I would blame myself for being where I am. And of course, there are some things I could have done differently. But again, I've always wanted to be there for my daughters. I wanted to be present physically and emotionally. So taking a pay cut was okay for me as long as I was able to be there. And now that my kids are older, now it is that time of my life where I'm like, all right, cool. Let's try to start doing some things that you want to do, Nikki. Let's try it. And as the school year ends, I'm sitting here like, I don't think I'm going to teach again next year. It's been 2 years. I don't know. 2 years seems to be my thing. Like, I'll try something for 2 years, give it a go, and then be like, okay, cool. It's time to go. It's time to move on to the next thing. And so now I'm in that transition part of like, what's the next thing? This new quiet season of rebuilding. I feel like social media makes people feel like every season should look polished, but I think real rebuilding rarely does. And the quiet seasons are often the most important ones. So even though I'm being quiet, I'm learning discipline again. I'm going back to the gym. I'm reworking my finances. I'm thinking for the long term right now. I'm watching my daughters enter new chapters of their lives with my oldest going to college and my second wanting to go to Japanese school, and me sitting here like, okay, wait, if both of my daughters are gone, it's about time for me to do something for me too, right? So building isn't always visible. You're not always going to see it. There's a lot of invisible things that go along with rebuilding, and it takes emotional regulation. It takes better boundaries. It takes learning to pause before reacting, getting healthier mentally, physically, and also becoming more intentional about your life. And sometimes it just takes a quiet season. Some of the biggest wins in my life can't be photographed or videotaped. And I've done a lot of that growing these past few years. Like, I used to just do so much for social media. I think for me, when I'm quiet, is because I personally just need that time to myself. So I'm going to start over again. I'm going to start over again. This is my emotional center where there's no shame, there's no ego, there's no feeling like I should have it all figured out by now. There's no being afraid of people judging me in this transition season because honestly, this season is all about me. I think that rebuilding your life is one of the bravest things a person can do. And I used to be so afraid of it. I was holding on to the past so much. I think I'm now forcing myself to see what happens when I rebuild on my own terms. When I like say, okay, 2 years is enough, on to the next thing, and like completely start from scratch. But knowing that I can trust myself enough that I'll figure it out, that I'm gonna make it work, right? So, bringing this home, I just wanna say that maybe I've been a little bit absent, but I've been laying foundation. And some seasons just aren't meant to be loud. And for me right now, this season where I'm at and rebuilding is for me is like this I want to have longevity. So maybe you're rebuilding too. And I just want to let you know that you're not the only one. And so if hello me, it's me talking to me. I just want you to know that you don't have to be loud. It's okay to take time for you. Sometimes you get burnt out from always sharing things. And sometimes you don't have anything to share. And that's okay too. Like everything doesn't have to be like this amazing Instagram reel, how the Instagram reels used to be back in the day. it's okay to just be yourself for a second. It's okay to just take in life. It's okay to just do the things you need to do without sharing all the time. So I said all that to say that it's okay. It's okay. And keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep starting over. Keep trying again. Keep rebuilding things. Keep doing things on your own term because eventually you're going to break through. And anyway, on that note, yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back on my own terms. Hopefully next week we have I don't even know what we're going to talk about next week. All I know is I only have about a couple more weeks left of school. And so I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and get this thing back rolling. Let's go ahead and get this thing back going. Let's go ahead and just live out loud again. So I don't know how long it's going to last, but I appreciate you being along for the ride. And until next time, bye. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Hello Me, It's Me with Nikki D. Lovely. Just remember, you can't change who you were yesterday, but you can always learn and grow to become a better version of yourself today. So make sure you do the mental work today for the future you tomorrow, and I will see you next week. And in the meantime, make sure that you check me out on my Instagram at Nikki D. Lovely. You can also find me at nikkidlovely.com and check out my book, No F Boys Allowed. Just a little shameless plug. But either way, I will see you guys next time, and thanks again.